And thanks everyone for watching. We are doing a brand new show called The List, and we're going to have a list of things for you all to enjoy, to listen to watch, or just some things that we think you should check out. I'm Adam, and with me tonight is,
I'm Gareth. Hey, Adam.
hey Gareth, how's it going tonight?
Good, good. Ace Ventura, Blow, and Black Dynamite, which I showed you Black Dynamite.
Yes. Victoria and I watched Black Dynamite with you.
Yeah. A lot of people have never heard of that movie. It's one of the funniest movies ever made.
No, I never had heard of it, but I'm glad that at first, when we started watching that, I wasn't sure exactly what we were getting into because I had no prior knowledge. But
They've never made a movie like that before. I mean, you can't describe it to somebody.
no, not at all. And it was funny. It was really funny. And if you're looking for, I don't even want to give anything much away, but I recommend Black Dynamite. Definitely check that out. Now, what made you look toward the movie Blow tonight? Did you watch that today?
Uh, Last night, I believe. Maybe it was the night before. I'd never really seen it. Blob loved it. That's one of his favorite movies.
Okay.
I made him watch Black Dynamite. Then I sat down and watched Blow with him.
So, what was your what did you take away from Blow after seeing it?
I think what separated it from anything else was that he seemed to be the first one doing a lot of that, and he just went down for stuff. Every other movie, you kind of see how they overcome those same obstacles.
Right. Now, was there a certain performance that stood out to you in that movie, or anything like that?
Uh, they were all fantastic. Maybe a character, not so much like a performance, which I guess is based off a real guy. I like Diego Delgado, his friend who helped him get into the business.
Yeah. Now, did you know anything about the movie before you watched it?
I'd seen the beginning before.
Okay.
No, not much. Just it's based on a true story.
Okay. Well, it caught a lot of people off guard when it had Paul Rubens, also known as Pee Wee Herman,
Yeah.
playing who's he play, the hairstylist, the hairdresser.
Oh, I think they were in a salon, but he sold drugs with all the girls there at the salon.
Yeah.
They,
And it's not really I mean, it's a little bit of a comedic role, but it's more of a serious role for Pee Wee to take that on instead of his comedic roles that he's done in the past. So that was kind of a nice change, I thought, as well.
He did a great job with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've only seen Blow one time, and I remember liking it. Now, I thought Penelope Cruz did a good job. Johnny Depp, all the secondary and third characters did really well. The story was based on, I guess, loosely based on his real life.
Yeah.
But
All of his styles throughout the whole movie takes place over, I guess a lifetime.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
just like
probably.
every scene he has a different haircut, different wig.
Yeah, and I've often wanted to rewatch it again. So, would you recommend this movie to other people to check out?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. What was the next movie that you said you had watched recently?
The first one that we started with was Ace Ventura.
Okay.
One of the funniest and like smartest, most brilliant movies ever written, in my opinion.
Now, how many times do you think you've seen that movie? I've seen it probably 10, maybe 11, 10 or 11 times probably over the years.
I've seen it at least 200 times.
Really?
I never get tired of that movie.
So is that I would be it sounds like it's safe to say that's one of your favorite comedy movies of
Yeah,
all
Ace
time.
Ventura, Pet Detective, and Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls, both of them, 10 out of 10s.
Okay. Now,
Genius movie.
do you have a favorite? What attracts you to those movies? What makes them stand out to you?
Uh, well, initially it looks like somebody acting silly, that kind of humor, but as somebody who's way smarter than everybody else and just making fun of them constantly the whole time.
Yeah. Especially the little there's a lot of subtle humor. There's over the top humor, but there's a lot of subtle humor too. And
Yeah. Oh
a
yeah.
lot of
So much stuff you don't get until you watch it a
yeah,
dozen times, 2 dozen times.
and there's a lot of things also that it plays upon kind of other movies and things in real life. For example, when Ace finds out that Detective Lois Einhorn is a man, he goes into the bathroom and starts throwing up and stuff like that. The song that they play is "The Crying Game" by
Yeah.
Boy George, who is an openly gay man, but who was also in Culture Club. So I thought that was kind of a nice. And the song that they used during that scene was also used in a movie about a guy finding out that his lover is a man and he doesn't know. So I found that kind of funny as well as many other
I'm
scenes.
surprised you remembered they were main characters, but I guess I'm bad with names. I seen it 200 times and I probably wouldn't have remembered. Oh, I would have came to me.
Yeah, I think you forgot. I think you have got her. Now let me ask you a question. What's the dolphin's name?
Snowflake.
Snowflake. Yeah, Snowflake.
Snowflake. Yeah, I love it when he comes in at the end scene. He's like, "Mr. Marino, I'm here to save Snowflake." He's like, "Can you time me real quick?" Yeah, sure.
That's a really funny movie. It's I can't really pinpoint one scene that I like because I like the entire movie.
A lot of stuff I you know don't get in the beginning, or one big thing I didn't get until I got into psychology in the very beginning. Talking to, or his landlord shows up, says he hears a bunch of animals in there, and he jiggles his keys like 3 times in the lock, and
Yeah.
then he opens it, and all the animals are hidden. He trained like 50 animals individually to hide to do that.
Whenever, yeah, I thought of that too. I rewatched the opening sequence about maybe about a month ago, and I caught that exact same thing, the jiggling of the keys, and then, like you said, at least 50
Yeah,
animals.
that's no big deal if it's 1, 2 animals, but you're teaching that to birds and like otters and iguanas.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
that was pretty funny. And I mean, there's like a seal comes out of the toilet. You know, all these funny animals. I like the scene as well when she takes him to the asylum, and
yeah,
like he's her brother, and he just can't let go of the game.
yeah,
So that whole sequence is hilarious, but it also shows the psyche of Lois Einhorn. You know
right.
what you know a little bit about where she had been, where he had been all these years as well. So I
Very
like that.
thankful the kicker.
Yeah,
Like she'd gone missing on a hike and then miraculously came back. It was Finkel.
yeah,
And
Rafe.
you get to see his house, like his room, and the mother's just like in so much denial. She doesn't even see it as odd.
Yeah, and she's still making those little cookies with laces out. Those little football cookies.
Yeah, laces
Out.
Dan Marino needs to die and burn in hell. Laces out.
Yeah.
That's what she says.
And it's that little old lady. I can't think of other things she's been in, but I know she's been
Oh
the
yeah.
little old lady in other things as well. She's probably passed away at this point.
Maybe, probably. That movie was like back in the 90s.
Yeah, early 1994. So yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's 94. How'd you know that?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So what was the other movie that you had mentioned?
It was Ace Ventura, Black Dynamite, and Blow.
Oh yeah, so let's talk a little bit about Black Dynamite. We touched on it.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we restarted after we touched on it or not.
How did you discover Black Dynamite?
Oh, my sister showed it to me. So that movie never came out in theaters.
Right.
So they had I don't know, they had stumbled upon it when it came out in like a Redbox or something. Somebody probably recommended it to her. I have never got very far into it for various reasons, but like halfway through, it's still the funniest movie I'd seen in a long time.
Yeah.
But I've just shown it to as many people as I can.
Well, I've recommended it to a few people that I know that like that type of humor, even some that don't. and I think Victoria liked it, and when we watched it, and I liked it as well. So
Right.
that's good. I don't want to give too much away because it takes you by surprise if you're not expecting it. If you're going in not knowing.
It's gonna take you by surprise no matter what. It's
Yeah,
they've never made a movie like that before. It's just so cliche. It's uh archetype
yeah,
almost.
exactly. So what about? Have you been watching any? You had mentioned before we went live that you hadn't had cable in about 10 years, and that's probably. I don't think I've had cable since 2008, to be honest
Yeah,
with
2008 when I was 18,
you.
moved out. I never paid for cable. My grandmother had it when I was living with her.
So what would be like a couple of shows, maybe three shows that you might recommend to the audience?
Oh, I I love Game of Thrones. I've followed that from the very beginning. Uh, gotten into the books. Kind of the ending was disappointing, but still,
See, I've heard I've never I've only
I
watched.
hate to agree with them, but it's true. And I realized why just reading the first book is they followed so closely to that.
Uh-huh.
Last two seasons, the books aren't out yet, so they
I had read that the last. I've only watched the first episode. Shelley and I watched episode one, but I had heard that the last episode wasn't very good, and I'd heard that the last season had a lot of mistakes in there that you could pick out,
uh
like a cup in the scene, or a couple little things, like a Starbucks cup in the scene, or a glass of water. I can't recall at the moment, but
there was a Starbucks coffee on the for a second, like on one of the tables.
did you notice it when it happened?
No, no.
No. Okay. So it's,
But
it's just really quick.
I guess it was immediately after it aired. Somebody had noticed it, and I guess they looked closer, and that's exactly what it is. It was a
Yeah, I
Starbucks
just saw
cup.
like the picture. Like I didn't actually see the scene of it, but I had just wondered. And then Taylor, who to the audience, she has been in a couple of different episodes of things. She had mentioned that the how the Game of Thrones the last episode was disappointing as well. She actually there's even a promo that we did where she mentions it.
It makes me want those last books that much more.
Okay.
Like I feel like it wasn't even the right ending. It was I don't know how to describe it.
So they're done with Game of Thrones completely done with it. The show.
I guess yeah, they realized without source material, it's no good.
No good.
But
Yeah.
they've got like I don't know what to call it, stuff that he's written, like Historia's lore from histories. Somebody join us?
No, I'm checking to see if anyone's joined, but there's some people watching, but no one's brave enough to join live with us.
Who's watching us?
Um, let's see who we have.
Shout outs.
We have James Marshall, Leandra Gray, Lexi, and Tracy Kennedy.
What's up, Lexi?
So that's who we have at the moment. Well, that's all I can see. We might have more. But that's who I can see at the moment.
And she's probably gonna help me film a quick video either sometime this weekend.
Okay.
We'll send it to you to edit it.
Okay, that sounds good. Now, for the people, well, I wanted to mention I've been watching It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia lately,
Oh yeah, yeah.
which I know I'm behind the times, but I've watched like the first three seasons, and I've got probably two more seasons that I can watch tonight after the show. So I'm looking forward to see what the gang is up to.
Yeah.
So that's a really fun show, and I'm looking.
What happened in the third and fourth season?
What?
I was trying to think of what happened in the third and fourth season. But yeah, it's an excellent show.
Yeah, it's been on. It's been on like 2005.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a long running show, very long running show. So, any other shows that you would recommend?
I'm sure it's hard to think of them. Like I couldn't even think of. I usually binge watch something.
Yeah.
I might binge watch it again. I like Elementary. I've always loved the Sherlock Holmes stories, but it's like a modern Sherlock Holmes. Like
Yeah, I've heard of it. And is it what is it still airing new episodes or is it
I
finished?
don't believe so. I think it had its last season. It had like closure.
Was it what, 5 or 6 seasons?
I think it was more than that.
Oh, really? Okay, so it did really well. I'd seen advertisements for it, but I never had really seen the show. So that'll be I might have to check that out. Also, check out if people want to check out the show Californication. It's a good show.
California Cajun.
Californication.
Cation.
Yeah,
How do you
uh,
spell that?
like the Red Hot Chili Pepper song, Californication.
Oh,
Got
okay.
it's got David Duchovny from
Californication.
X Files. So yeah, people might enjoy that. I think the
Yeah.
last season wasn't very good, so I didn't finish. I couldn't finish.
What happened in the last season? I've not seen it all the way through.
Oh, have you seen the show before though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Which one
Um,
was the last season? I'm trying to remember. Well, that was with this kid.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't care for the kid. I thought the kid was miscast terribly. Terribly.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I just couldn't finish. So we're gonna try to start going on a little more often. We could start doing the show as well. And Gareth has a couple. You're gonna be. You've already written out your scene? Did you say?
About gotten an outline with it and
Okay.
been
I'm looking
doing
forward to
all
that.
sorts of research for you know scenes similar to it.
Well, we're going to start production back on a couple of things. We're going to start on the father soon. We've got your sketch. I've got the sketch that I was actually putting together when I actually cut my head. So I'm going to finish working on that. And I've got a little breakfast sketch. It's no dialogue, but it's a little breakfast sketch, maybe a 2-minute sketch. So we've got a lot coming up, and then we've got Carnival season 2, and then I know we still want to try to work on Lexi's project.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't forgot
Trying to
about it.
remember the name of it.
Um, Appalachian Heat.
That's right. Thank you.
Appalachian
You
Heat.
just mentioned it to me like today or yesterday.
Yeah, I was thinking she may have thought that we have forgotten about it, but no, we don't forget. We'll get it, but we got a lot. We got a lot to do this summer, so it's going to be a fun summer.
Never seen anything just put a pause on life like this COVID.
No, it's been crazy. Now, personally, before we sign off, how has your life has your life day-to-day life really changed from COVID, or not all that much?
Uh, no, not all that much. I was always somebody who stayed inside, stayed alone. I've always practiced social distancing.
Same. I mean, I do travel back and forth between the area and DC area, but as far as interaction with people, I've always I interact with the same group of people anyway. So
I've always thought that people are gross, and they're doing a lot better job of you know not being as disgusting.
yeah, they're at least washing their hands, or they're you
People
know
shaking hands has always been something that's like uh, what's the right word for it? Uh, Obsolete or
yeah. I've never really liked the idea of shaking hands.
right?
I'm not really big on touching other people that I'm not intimate with, to be
Right.
honest. I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
so yeah, maybe I mean my life really hasn't it's actually shut down production on shooting things. So
Mhm.
we've done, but it's also as far as the show goes, opened up technology because we weren't doing Zoom before. So at least there's
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So for the listening audience, you can check out some of the other shows. We have the Other People Show, which Gareth has been on several times, and you're going to make many appearances on the radio version when we start back on that as well.
Absolutely. I'm jealous that you're in a radio station. I
Yeah,
missed the first two, and then the COVID happened. So
Yes.
I'm dying to get in there, man.
We had only got to do it because you're a radio veteran. I don't know if a lot of the audience knows, but tell them a little bit about what you did in the radio business.
Uh, I worked at radio station during my last 2 years of high school every weekend. It was it's pretty simple and easy. I liked it.
You said you did the obituaries.
Yeah, that was something I had to do every day, a few times a day, which was anytime obituaries came in, I had to read them off.
And you said sometimes people would call if you mispronounced the name.
Yeah, which I'm not good at, pronouncing names. So I'd have to practice these obituaries just to be able to go over a whole page smoothly in one take.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause you come across a name where you're just like, oh God, really? What?
I can imagine. I totally imagine. Sometimes when I do the like when I do news or traffic or whenever I do whatever, I've got to read. I've honestly, whenever I read a spot, if I'm pre-recording it, I have to at least read it 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And while doing it, if you feel like you messed up, just restart.
Yeah.
One time I had the hiccups, and
No?
like for a few hours, and time was running out before like I had to get these recorded and they were gonna be broadcasted. I thought I was gonna have to call my boss and be like, I need you to come down here and record these. I have the hiccups.
Right, right.
But they went away just in time.
That's good. Did you have to do it at the same time every day or several times a day?
Several times a day. Well, as soon as one would come in on fax machine, it's like, well, I'm gonna re-record them now.
Okay, okay.
I wouldn't wait till last minute. It was, yeah, they must have done it a few times a day.
You said you were the only person in the station most of the time?
Yeah, I ran the whole thing. They had it all set up so it kind of ran itself.
Right, right.
And I just, would press a button. I'd basically just keep it on the clock. Every hour, press a button, or 30 minutes, press a button. And they'd set it up so that it basically ran itself.
Yeah, so everything's automated and you're just kind of a safety in case there's some kind of a problem and to do the live reads or pre-record daily things.
And church groups would come in. I'd switch stuff over.
Right, right. Did you say that they would come in and just do their like ministry and stuff like that, like record it and then leave?
Yeah, and sing songs. I never listened to it. I don't know what they did.
Right.
That's what they supposedly did.
Okay, so you just set it up really, and then they did their thing and then left.
Oh yeah. I made sure everything was plugged in. I basically, they already knew like their procedure. Luckily, right. I had everything ready for them. I was polite, but I just kind of gave them a 1 minute warning and then turned the light on, and then wouldn't even listen. I was just, they'd get it.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, it's been a fun show. We were on almost 30 minutes. That was a quick 30. So thanks everyone for checking out the show. I'll probably have this edited tomorrow, and it'll be up one day next week. We're going to start having shows every day of the week or a sketch. So we're going to have brand new material and content every day. You want to give any shout outs or anything, Gareth, tonight before we say goodnight?
Let's give a shout out to Jake.
Yeah, let's give a shout out to Jake. He'll be back on the movies.
I'll give a shout out to Vlad. I watched those 3 movies with him.
Yes, and we might have to get him involved in some of the sketches.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah. So everyone, check out the Other People Show on YouTube and all the sketches and all the shows. Have a good night, Gareth. Have a good night, my friend.
Good night, Adam.
Facebook. Bye-bye.
See you, everybody.